Ajay Bodke of Prabhudas Lilladher joins in now to give us his views on the markets and on individual stocks. Ajay, good morning. Between Infi and TCS, if you had to buy one stock now, which one would it be?
Our preference remains firmly with Infosys. We believe that I think the second quarter numbers were quite strong, although the company has cut its guidance. But we feel that I think the company has priced in almost all the negatives in the guidance because having had to cut guidance twice, I think the company has been extra cautious. And we believe that I think some of the headwinds that the company did mention, I think should ease in the medium term. And the company is sort of, well poised to take advantage of any upturn that might come in the medium term. The valuations look quite comforting at just 15 times forward earnings. Although the earnings growth also, I think, that we have baked in is tepid around, say, 10 to 11% CAGR over 2 years. So I think our preference will lie with Infosys over TCS.
Okay. Morning, Ajay. The mid-cap IT companies have actually not disappointed, Cyient as well as NIIT Technologies.
Yeah.
Anything that you like in the mid-cap space?
Yeah. I think NIIT Technologies and Hexaware figure among the top recommendations for us with a medium-term perspective. I think in case of NIIT Technology, in fact, we have target price of around 590 over the medium-term 18 to 24 months period. And in case of Hexaware, again, we are expecting both the current quarter as well as the December quarter, which is the third and fourth quarter for the company, having calendar year ending December, to be extremely strong. The company had given guidance that these 2 quarters will be very strong. So there we are expecting a 260 rupees of target price in the medium term based on a revenue growth of around 12.5% CAGR over 17-18 and a similar earnings growth for the company. The company is trading at quite attractive valuations of around 12 times in case of Hexaware FY18 earnings, and in NIIT it is trading at just 8.8 times FY18 earnings. So both these companies we believe investors should look at with the medium term perspective.
Okay, so that's NIIT and Hexaware. I wanted to ask you about the private sector banks because the numbers that have come in so far, whether it's IndusInd or even DCB that came in over the weekend, was quite good. From that space, would you, put money into either of these names?
Yes. In fact, that's the space in particular we like a lot because we believe that in this environment of concerns about earnings growth, I think this is one sector, retail-focused private banks, where one need not worry at all about continuance of around 20 to 30% depending on franchise earnings growth CAGR over the next 2 to 3 years. And IndusInd is a bank that we prefer a lot. The numbers were extremely strong. Growth in both on the CASA side as well as on the asset side, retail asset side has been quite strong. The company's guidance that they will be able to maintain the NIMs of 4% remains, and we believe that there is a scope for the ROAs to go up because the money that was raised last year. I think the company will be deploying it over time. So I think 1,500 rupees is the medium-term target price that we have for IndusInd Bank. In addition to that, among the corporate-focused banks, I think we are closely awaiting the results of Yes Bank. And we believe that the pristine asset quality that the company had posted last 2 quarters should continue. And the apprehensions that a section of the markets had after the QIP issue did not go through, I think the results sort of should act as antidote and the market should re-rate the company. So IndusInd Bank and Yes Bank would be our preferred buys in the banking sector.
We also wanted to hear about DCB Bank, but we will come to you in a minute, Ajay.
But let's get a quick comment from Ajay Bodke on this entire SR Rosneft deal. Ajay, any thoughts on what stocks you could be positive on post the deal?
I think SBI and ICICI stand as the 2 biggest beneficiaries of the Rosneft deal. As Mr. Ruya had mentioned in his interaction, total 75,000 crores of debt will be repaid by the company. 30,000 crores of $4.5 billion of loans that the promoters had taken to fund various projects would be retired. And of the total 80,000 crores of debt that the various SR group companies have on their balance sheet, half of it, 40,000 crores, would be repaid. So that's how sort of 75,000 crores of total debt will be repaid. And the prime beneficiaries in the Indian context would be, in our opinion, SBI and ICICI Bank. And Standard Chartered Bank, on the global context, which has large funding to the promoters, also would be a beneficiary.
Okay. Well, as it happened, I spoke with Arundhati Bhattacharya and Karath of IDBI Bank. At the moment, they are not benefiting. Only the lenders to SR Global are benefiting. And that includes, as you said, Ajay, ICICI, Stancy, even Axis has lent. So they are getting the money first. Whether the promoters will bring in the money and help SR Steel is what the bankers are watching out for. As of now, SR Steel doesn't get a single penny. It's only when the promoters bring the money that SBI and IDBI and all those steel lenders are going to see any benefit. Ajay, any other mid-cap results that you want to speak about that stood out for you?
I think going forward, there are a few mid-cap cement names that we are closely watching.
Okay.
Closely watching. We expect strong EBITDA numbers coming from Heidelberg's end. Also, mid-cap pharmaceuticals, I think names we are closely watching. Glenmark Pharma, we are expecting a large approval to come their way from Zetia, cholesterol lowering drug in December. And that company should be a big beneficiary. Aurobindo Pharma numbers also will be closely watching. So Aurobindo, Glenmark and Heidelberg are the three mid-cap space that we'll be closely watching.
Okay. Actually, we seem to have a problem with the audio. Ajay Bodke, thank you very much for joining us with your thoughts this morning and the mid-cap companies that you are watching.